Jesus said in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. We know in the Old Testament that God said, I am that I am. See that phrase, I am, right there? And then it says, I am the way. Look at the word way. Look at it backwards. Yah. First read it right to left and then left to right. Yahweh. Jesus saith unto him, I am Yahweh. There's a the there, but everything is seen in mysteries. Not everything, but the deeper things. And the word John means God is gracious. 14 times 6 is 84. There are 84 weeks in 7 years. Also, if you look at the word truth, you see the word in there, Ruth, like the book of Ruth. Ruth means friendship, and the T is a cross, the Tav. So what are these verses really saying? Jesus saith unto him, I am Yahweh, the cross, Ruth, which is friendship, and the life, which also means spirit. Alright, so let's keep moving here in another direction. So we're always on a ship, right? Apprenticeship, championship, craftsmanship, citizenship, dictatorship, friendship, horsemanship, an internship. So we're on a ship when we get here, and we come through when we're born, the birth canal. Just like a canal for ships. And you are a seaman. You're a seaman. Because when you come into this world, the Matrix, which means the womb, you are a seaman lost at sea. So do you think God was trying to tell us something when we read about the apostles always on a ship? And interestingly enough, Jesus' best friend, Peter, was a fisherman, having to do with the sea and catching fish. Remember, he said, I'll make you a fisher of men? It's amazing to me how the woman's ovaries here on the top left resemble the goat. Just like they use in the pentagram, the five-sided star. And it's interesting that God says Satan is the god of this world. Now, we are not of this world spiritually, but in the fallen flesh state, as we can see here, the resemblance is amazing. You come in through the birth canal, are born, lost at sea as a seaman. That's why you have to be born again. Because as you can see, just from coming in here, you are coming into the goat. The goat's world. All of creation testifies of a creator. And that's Romans 1:20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. This judgment is in verse 120. Look at the 120, Genesis chapter 6, verse 3. 120 Jubilees, showing us the 6,000-year period at the end of which there will be a judgment. And that's what this is talking about. So that they are without excuse. Everybody will be held accountable because of the obviousness of intelligent design and God behind creation itself. And also the number 120 in the Strong's Concordance is Adam, or man, showing us that our bodies themselves, us and our consciousness, testify of the Creator, the intelligent designer, because there is intelligence behind the creation of our bodies and our spirits. Like I've said, look at the human body. The gospel is there, as I've shown you a little piece in this video. The entire body, the kingdom of God is within you in more ways than we can imagine, physically, being seen, and spiritually. For instance, the pineal gland releases a masculine electrical portion, which is known as honey, and the pituitary gland releases the feminine magnetic portion, milk. This is the gland flowing with milk and honey. Both glands make this fluid a little different. You see, and this is what happens, is that there are certain people in this world who have all of this knowledge about everything, and they start worshiping the creation and not the creator. You see, and they look at Jesus as just a knowledgeable prophet or somebody who was spiritually inclined. And they say, well, good is only God. God isn't actually God. And they believe in things like karma, and they don't believe in a literal God like we believe in, like Jesus claimed to be many times, in a bit of a mystery. And even Paul wrote after that he was God manifested in the flesh. And he was given authority over all things. But again, they start worshiping themselves. They start worshiping the creation itself. And they get into something called the Kabbalah, which says that God is just forces. Like in the movie Star Wars, they showed you what they believe. The Force. The Force. May the Force be with you. So they just believe in these positive and negative forces. They believe in these dark matter and light matter. And it gets into witchcraft. So that's where they go wrong. Sometimes too much knowledge can do this to people. The knowledge of good and evil, possibly. See, I've heard guys talk about things like this. The kingdom of God being within us and showing us the gospel. And they say, well, the stories in the Bible didn't actually happen. That is this. And that's all that it's referring to. And they're totally deceived. And this is where the New Age movement comes in, is that they start worshiping creation and focusing on that rather than the creator. The New Age movement takes some of these truths, many of these truths, as you can see here, the 7 chakras, or chakra means circle, and they are 7 colors of the rainbow, and you have the crown at the top and the root on the bottom. Jesus came from the root of King David, and we get our crowns, and Jesus has a crown at the top, and then the third eye chakra, and all the colors have to do with the light sequence. All this stuff is true, but it gets twisted up just a little bit, and they say, oh, we're all gods, which is exactly what the serpent wants everybody to say, just like Genesis chapter 3 and the garden. And it's happening more and more and more. And these patterns all repeat themselves. Ecclesiastes 3:15 and 1:9 and Isaiah 46:10.